All right. Lesson 6-5 is what we're going to work on now. Again, don't know the page number, but you should have out your SAB, homework remembering journal, and then also a sharpened pencil. This one has plenty of room, so I don't think you're going to need any scratch paper today. And I'm going to kind of briefly talk about the lesson, but then mostly you guys are just going to have a chance to do some word problem practice and make sure you're understanding what it is you're supposed to be solving. So these are all technically comparison problems, which means you're either going to find the difference between something, or you're going to add up to find the next number, or possibly multiply. You're going to see that it's all, you should have no problems today figuring out what operation to use in order to solve these problems. And we're also going to talk about some hints that each word problem gives you as you try to solve. But again, this is lesson 6-5, and I don't know what page it is. So, comparison problems. This is the only one that I'm going to draw a comparison bar for you, because if I'm being perfectly honest, I don't really like them. But I will still show you at least what it means. So, a comparison bar is showing you how much you have in total, and then how much you need to in order to get to that next number, if that kind of makes sense. So this says, these are all, first of all, problems about a jump rope contest, which is great. And number 1 is talking about Julia. So it says she jumped 1,200 times, and that Samantha jumped 1,100 times. And it says, how many more jumps did Julia do? Well, you guys are in 5th grade, so I know that you already know that the answer is 100 more jumps, right? But I want to start off with this easy one to show you what that comparison bar would be. So basically what that means is that Julia has a bar that looks like this, and it is filled with her 1,200 jumps, right? Well, then we also have Samantha. I'm going to call her Sam. And Sam has a smaller bar. We're going to make it go to about there, and it has 1,100 jumps, and then this is the part that you are solving for. So inside of that little question mark would be where you find the difference between the two, which would be that 100. Like I said, you don't need a comparison bar. You're already solving these. But let's say you come up with one that you're not totally sure. You could try to draw the comparison bar. I'll stop being so negative Nancy about it. I'm going to only do a couple of these, so I'm going to just jump right in with number 2. I like to do the easy ones to make you guys do all the hard ones instead. But let's start with Ahanu. He jumped 1,050 times, and Rolando jumped 1,080 times. It says, how many fewer jumps did Ahana do than Rolando? So that's just a difference problem. You got to find the difference between 1,050 and 1,080. And probably able to do mental math on that one, but if not, you just simply stack and solve, and you're going to find out that that would be 30 fewer jumps. You'll notice I'm taking the time to label these ones as well, rather than just the numbers, what it actually is that we are solving for here. On number 3, altogether, the blue team jumped 11,485 times. The red team did 827 more jumps than the blue team. So how many jumps did the red team do? In one like this, it's a good idea to ask yourself which team should have the larger number. So it looks to me like since the red team jumped more than blue, their answer should be higher than 11,485. So what that tells me that I need to probably do here is 11,485, and I'm going to add that 827 to it in order to find my answer. So I am going to stack those, 11485, and I'm going to add 827 to that. 5 plus 7 is 12, carry the 1. 8 plus 2 plus 1 is 11, carry the 1. 1 plus 4 plus 8 is 13, carry the 1, brain fart. 1 plus 1 is 2, and 1 plus nothing is 1. So that means that the red team should have done 12,312 jumps. Okay, let me do one more with you here. It says, altogether, the green team jumped 10,264 times. The yellow team did 759 fewer jumps than the green team. So how many jumps did the yellow team do? So here they're telling you the green team, and they are telling you that the yellow team did less than them. So that means that the yellow team's answer should be less than this number right here. So less makes you think subtract. So we're going to do 10,264, and we are going to subtract 759 from that. Can't do 4 minus 9, so we will borrow. But 14 minus 9 is 5. 5 minus 5 is 0. And then 12 minus 7 is 5. And then bring down that 9 to show 9,505 jumps. If you would like to pause and try out 5, 6, and 7, I don't think they'd take you very long, and I'm going to go ahead and give you the answer. So if I were you, I would go ahead and pause on this video real quick and try out 5, 6, and 7. All right, now that you're back, I'm just going to quickly give the number answers here. So this would be 1,200. This one would be 792. And this one would be 348,032. All right, let's look at the next batch. These are more comparison problems, but this time it's dealing with like multiplication and division, so your picture might look a little bit different. So number 8 says Maria scored 6 points in the basketball game, and that Suzanne scored 4 times as many points as Maria. So I'm going to show you the comparison bar on this one, and I'm actually going to put Suzanne at the top. I'm going to label her name with an S, and then I'm going to put Maria toward the bottom. So how much did Maria score? We said that Maria scored 6 points, excuse me. And then it says that Suzanne scored 4 times as many. So that basically means that Suzanne should have 4 of these boxes, right? And so it says how many points did Suzanne score? If she had 4 times these 6, that means that Suzanne scored 24 points. But that's how you could kind of draw the comparison bar on a problem like that. Okay? Let's look at number 9. For number 9, I'm going to also give you, sorry, I don't like my big pen. I'm going to give you an equation to write along with this one as well, rather than drawing the comparison bar this time. So we have Ramon. He scored 10 points at the He scored 10 points at a volleyball game, and that was 5 times as many as David scored. How many points did David score? And so the hint that they gave you is exactly what I was just going to say. You want to ask yourself if Ramon scored more or if David scored more. So does David score more or fewer points than Ramon? And it looks like Ramon scored 5 times as many as Dave. So that means David should have scored a very low number of points there. So that means that a way that you could write a word problem would be 5 times whatever David scores is going to equal the 10 points. Okay, so the way that you're really solving that, though, the way to get rid of a times 5 is you divide by 5. So what's 10 divided by 5? That means David scored 2 points. And that is all. Comparison bar on that one, you could imagine that these each would be 2 points. And that would show you how much Ramon scored. And so then David's score would just be those 2. Okay? All right, number 10, Anna has $15 in the bank. Her sister Benita has a third as much money in the bank. How much money does Benita have? So same question. Who's got more? Does Anna have more money or does Benita have more money? So it says here that Benita has a third as much money as Anna. So 1/3 of that is going to end up being a smaller amount. So that means Benita's got less and her sister Anna has more. So we're going to take that $15 and we are going to find out what 1/3 of that is. Well, this is where you got to be careful. Do we divide that or do we multiply it? If you're finding 1/3 of something, oops, I don't know what that line was. Of kind of means multiplication here. So we're going to find 1/3 of $15. And that then means that we are going to have Benita earning $5 or having $5 in the bank. Basically, the way that works is that 15 times 1 over 3 just becomes 15 times 1 equals 15, and then 1 times 3 equals 3. And then you do your division. 15 divided by 3 equals 5. A couple more problems over here. And this is actually another one. I'm going to have you, or this is where I would like you to pause. These ones might take you a little longer. They're a little trickier, so try to solve them on your own. Go ahead and pause the video and try 11 through 14 on your own. And now that you are back, let me give you the equation and then the answer on these ones. So this is basically asking you to find out how many CDs Sonia has. And she had, Dana had a fifth as many as Sonia, so Sonia ends up having more. So that's going to be 5, oops, sorry, not 5. Sorry. Sorry, I apologize, guys. I'm looking at my answer key, and I think that it is wrong. So let me look at this one. Dana has 9 CDs, and she has 1/5 as many as Sonia. So that means that we're going to find 1/5, rather than finding 1/5 of 9, actually what I mean here is that we are going to find Sonia times 1/5. And that is what's going to equal 9. I apologize for my confusion on that problem. And basically what that means then is you have to ask yourself 9 times this number of 5. So that means that she will have had 45 CDs. Okay? For number 12, Mr. Wagner and his horses, that's going to end up being 4 times Mr. Cruz would have equaled 32. And so then that means that Mr. Cruz has 8 horses. For number 13, Chester has 49 CDs. Tony has 1/7 as many as Chester. So you're going to find 1/7 of 49. And of means multiply. So then when you multiply that out, that means then that Tony had 7 CDs. And then this one's actually a two-parter. A restaurant offers 18 types of pizza. A small cafe offers 1/3 as many types. So first you have to figure out what 1/3 of 18 is. And remember, of means multiply. So that's going to be that they only have 6 pizzas that they offer. And then it says how many fewer types of pizzas does the small cafe offer? They offer 12 fewer, or because that would just be 18 minus 6. All right. So the way to show your understanding today, I didn't leave you much of a chance to finish those pages, so you can skip that part. But your other 2 options are to either go back and do these 2 homework and remembering pages, or you can check the weekly plan, look to see what IXL lessons I designated for this week, and try to finish any of those up. Either way, show your parents that you're understanding what it is you were learning today. Thanks so much. Sorry for my confusion on that last page on problem number 9, or excuse me, number 11. I got a little confused on my answer key here. Thanks, guys. Log into the Zoom call if you need some help.